They first pick it from... They've done this before, right?
They first phase pick it.
Sure.
Not first overall pick, and I am like, it's not something that would have gotten banned, I think, either. Like, Team Secret
against Stormstormer
didn't ban that.
It's his best hero.
I just have a hard time believing it's worth it, because if it doesn't matter only if it's your best hero, but I think the hero also has to be like really strong in the current patch, and I think the water runes, they just don't help him at all. I think the rework to Invoker is kind of irrelevant in terms of like the fact that they gave him stats when he levels up his orbs, rather than, and they nerfed like the bonuses of the individual orbs when you have them activated. I just think if you're a mid laner that doesn't spam spells with bottle, you're not necessarily a meta mid laner. It doesn't mean you can't pick them, but I have to believe they're more situational. And with Invoker, the way Stormstormer usually plays it, as far as I've seen, is that he goes for the Quas Exhort and he maxes out those Forge Spirits and buys the potential Midas Boots of Travel Ags kind of build. And that's just a pace of the game that Hellbears Smashers, I think, is comfortable with. And Team Secret says, no, this pace of the game is going to be as fast as possible. We're sprinting right at you.
Yeah, I'll be surprised.
Bounty or Gyro.
I feel like he's got to go for the Quaswex Witchblade sort of build up. Otherwise, yeah, he's going to get run.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen Stormstormer do it. It's like I agree with you. I think he'll have to try to match this a bit, but I don't know if they actually do that.
In the first game, the Team Secret played against Team Nigma. They also went for the Bounty Hunter Gyro, and it was a Zai Bounty Hunter and a Matu Gyro. That whole series, though, and a Jungle Veno, correct. That whole series was played ultra super fast by the side of Team Nigma. So that should be something that hopefully Hellbears Smashers has learned from, because that's, that is at the moment the way to beat Team Secret, surely.
Yeah, I think matching the pace is a huge part of dealing with Secret. What I liked last game was that they did have really strong dual lanes. The Tusked Medusa and the Sand King Lina coming out from Hellbears Smashers. Like, they have aggression potential. They force reactions to anything they're doing. So Secret can't just do their standard efficiency all three lanes while also ganking you with the likes of Yaps or Azaib. And this time around, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this Willow pick. I think Bounty Hunter needs to have... There needs to be like a Spirit Breaker-esque, an Earth Spirit hero that you see the Bounty Hunter on a ward, you TP in, you catch him. You punish the fact that he's running around all the time.
I do feel like I've seen the Hellbears Smashers a few times with their drafts. It seems like they're straying away from the Earth Spirit, and I don't know why. Maybe he's just not feeling as confident on it as the moment. Sure, obviously heroes like the Gyro could be pretty irritating. You miss your roll or you get in on top of him, you're going to die to the Gyro's damage output, but...
He's not out of the meta or anything, right?
No, I think absolutely still perfectly playable. Yeah. Just for whatever reason, something that Hellbears have seemingly strayed away from, even though I think they've got a very proficient player in their lineup. Interesting
Sven ban. I guess it makes sense. The Warcry AoE armor against the Gyro is seemingly the concern for them there.
Yeah, well, because did get buffed up, but the talent got buffed. You've got that extra...
You have two talents now, I think. One that gives you more and one that gives you more duration.
Yeah, so... I mean, if anything, maybe Secret's sort of saying something there, saying, hey, teams, if you're losing to Gyro, yeah, Sven is good. so something to definitely take note there for other squads watching.
And they actually banned the PL as well. In the past, Gyro was a PL counter, not really the case anymore. PL doesn't really have to go in. You can just spam him down and burn his mana. Gyro heavily reliant on the mana. The way that Gyro scales is the Ags Satanic, right? You have maybe a Maelstrom or a Butterfly thrown in there, depending on what you built there. But you want to have the opponent either have to commit onto you, or they lose their buildings, or they have to be not able to burst you. That's one of like the two options. And PL, probably the best non-committal carry in the game right now. Even though they nerfed him, I think the Shard build is still pretty insane.
You think they'll still take out the Wraith King as Ace's comfort hero?
If they don't have a better band in mind, then yes, that's what I think they would default to that.
But I don't think a Gyro minds playing against a Wraith King.
If they go Wraith King Invoker, man, they're just going to get ran over.
I don't think Secret... I think there's a chance they might not care if Wraith King's left in. So
okay.
I don't know if it'll be...
But if they can't think of anything else, then you are perfectly fine to say, okay, that's his most played hero, let's get rid of it. I want to see that Jungle Veno again. No ban.
No ban.
No respect here for the puppy Veno.
Let's see what else did they play there with that. They had the Lion for Yapzor and the Mid Doom, indeed.
Mid Doom, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Mid Doom could be.
Versus Invoker?
Didn't win, but I mean, Doom always is nice conceptually against the Invoker. You jump him, and yeah, good luck casting any spell.
I'm thinking Kunkka, man. I'm thinking Kunkka.
I love the Nisha Kunkka.
Nisha Kunkka is a special. It's great against Invoker. They nerfed Quas regens, so I think the Tidebringer will add up too much. It gives you the catch against the Willow. The pace of the game sits really well with the Gyro and the Bounty Hunter.
Super nice
your matchup
with the you know, you can't run from Bounty and Kunkka. You know, track X mark, they're gonna catch you.
So they go for the offlaner instead, and so it is not gonna be an offlane Bounty Hunter.
No, a Yapzor Bounty Hunter then more likely.
You never know. Could be Puppy Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
Jungle Bounty Hunter.
Hey, who knows?
I'm down.
It could be a Nisha Bounty Hunter. You know.
You have a free crit every like 15 seconds. Why
you time
not?
them well, yeah, sure. Nah. Unlikely, but you can never count it out.
Well, I feel like, Brian, would you like to see Hellbears Smashers get some sort of offlaner that's going to be able to build like maybe even the Crimson, you know, the pipe against the Gyro? You know, something like that.
Something like an Abaddon?
Well, this could be the support.
Yeah, Tofu most likely.
Yeah, it's almost, yeah, it's against the Bounty Hunter, I think. They're saying that they need somebody that sits behind the cores that are going to be in front. Just removes the track. And the missile coming out from Gyro. This is a game where you can probably use shield pretty reliably. You're not going to have anybody get bursted or anything yet. You also... They're delayed stuns, right? You can kind of see them coming. And that is now a 5 Bounty Hunter, I believe, is what they are officially declaring that as. Yep.
It just went down the pecking order after the Centaur and the Rubik pick.
Yeah, Rubik Centaur is a classic. Lift into stun in lane. I'm a bit surprised by the Centaur just because they have Invoker who usually roams on Centaur pretty early. So I think this is really Secret being confident that Stormstormer will not play that active Invoker role. And like the Quas Wax really good against Centaur early to mid game.
Yeah, no, for sure. You've not got a lot of mana to play with at all.
The pace of the game that Secret's representing here is so scary. I think you need a really strong laning carry against the Centaur. You don't necessarily love ranged heroes because, yes, they're good at harassing him in lane, but the Stampede to close the gap on them later is...
Going with the DOTA again. I mean, you said it yourself last game. He had a good game. He was farming incredibly well. I mean, is there a reason to sort of believe that Ace isn't going to be able to have that same sort of opening?
I'm curious because... The way Centaur is getting played right now is a 1-1-4 skill build, max retaliate, and a lot of people, the ideal build is to just rush a Vanguard, where you go maybe starting items straight Vanguard, and I'm pretty sure against this lane he can do just that because they have virtually no kill threat on him super early, and then once he gets that Vanguard, he just doesn't give a crap. Like, he can just... You take the tower because the tower does no damage to you 60% of the hits, and the Medusa, I just think... Against Centaur, you don't want to play the farming war. You don't want to try to outfarm him because Centaur is a very greedy offlaner. The games that I've struggled on Centaur are the games where either my other lanes are getting ran at, and I feel like I have to react, which Centaur doesn't want to do, or that I'm just getting shoved out of lane by the likes of like a Lifestealer or something. So I think Secret, once again, despite the fact that they have this really fast tempo, I think they're pretty greedy. I think this lineup's very greedy. Like, you have a Bounty Hunter 5, Centaur is a farming offlaner, Yapzor, obviously we know him. I don't think Hellbears Smashers is prepared to deal with it, so we'll see.
What do you make of the Brood ban?
I guess against Invoker, like, it's always been a cheesy hero. They can't deal with it at all, for sure, but... I don't know how the timings work nowadays since you don't get spawn Spiderlings until 6.
Yeah. And apparently Hellbears Smashers doesn't want to find out.
Yeah, they don't want to find out the hard way on that one. Cap doing a little dance. Get down tonight. Okay, Kyle, you're ruining it.
Alright, last ban from Hellbears Smashers. What is a hero that you do not want to face when you're playing Invoker mid? Is there any kind of curveball possible, by the way, with that Invoker, or is that just... Because Stormstormer, it's one of his most favorite heroes, right?
Stormstorm, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I honestly like the TA ban. I think Seeker can get away with playing the greed game, where lane-dominating farmer. I still think Kunkka's the pick. I still think it's very good, because he's really strong in lane against Invoker. He's capable of making moves, But I also think Secret's going to be completely content for like the first 9 minutes of the game until track comes online to just hit some creeps. And I think they're fine with that. And Medusa's not going to be ready for this 5-man run at you 11, 12 minutes in the game. She does not deal with that. Invoker, I'm nervous that there's just too many cores that want to get ran at here. Abaddon has too much defensive duty to do. They need a... It's like you need an offlaner who lanes well against Gyro, but Gyro is one of the stronger safe laners right now.
I want to see some beef. I mean, where's the Underlord nowadays? Does this hero not sit well in drafts?
I saw Layla's flaming the hero.
Oh, great.
He's like, man, this hero sucks. You don't know what to buy, anything, like you don't feel good. There's the beef.
Definitely beef.
But you're against a ranged hero in lane, so the counter helix relatively underwhelming when it comes to the laning stage. So I'm very scared that all 3 cores of Secret will just get as much farm as they want on the map, and the Medusa is going to be one like her against the world. And I don't think they chose to ramp up the pace here on Hellbear Smashers. You were saying how that's what Nigma did to beat Secret. I don't think they've done that at all here. And I don't know if it's the right approach.
Oh, look at that smile.
I literally played Axe into Tinker yesterday. That matchup is so bad. Oh my god. I was like, oh, it was terrible. They do play for the greed game though. It's not necessarily the lane dominator. I don't think it's the best against Invoker just because the Cold Snap catches you out. But Bounty Hunter Tinker, man. It is insane. You just track people and you spam them with rockets. It's a classic combo. Dirty. It's actually a classic combo.
At least you've got the Abaddon to remove the trap.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
They've got something.
But Medusa Axe, like, they need you to go on them, or like Axe needs a target in front to go on. You know what I mean? Now they just don't have it. So I think Tinker is a real gotcha pick here.
How do they catch this Tinker?
What is because I remember previous season, a lot of times people were talking about Tinker, like, you know, when is Tinker gonna come back? How good is Tinker at the moment?
Like, that's possible, I think.
There is a chance. I would still lean the way of Zai, Beastmaster, and Nisha Magnus.
Okay.
I think Mag, you know, if you are going to lane against the Lina, I think you might have a bit of a better chance than the Beastmaster.
Queen of Pain.
And so I guess Lina moving to the support. Yeah, Gilga playing the 4 Lina. Okay.
Nisha Beastmaster.
All right.
And it is Zai Mag. Okay. So it looks like Secret's trying to beat Hellbear Smashers at their own game. Their option for Medusa